and myself will be focusing on IMF and its macroeconomic consequences to the Sri Lankan economy. I'll be focusing on introduction to IMF. IMF loan has become a hot topic discussed during the last couple of months in Sri Lanka, simply because this is the biggest IMF assistance Sri Lanka ever received in the last 50 years. The country has previously obtained 23 IMF loans in the past, and most of the allegations and criticisms regarding this agreement are baseless and misleading. Moreover, IMF or International Monetary Fund is a group of 186 countries and organizations that work to promote global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate international trade, promote high employment and sustainable economic growth, and reduce poverty around the world. Further, IMF involves three main functions. Firstly, monitoring economic and financial development. Secondly, lending to countries with higher budget deficits. And finally, providing countries with technical assistance and training in its areas of expertise. Now, I would call upon Himashi to take you through the current Sri Lankan context.
Roshini, I'll be talking about the current Sri Lankan economic context. The Sri Lankan government has been functioning with severe budget deficit in the past several years. This was mainly due to two main reasons. One reason is the fact that they have borrowed from the international community both short-term and long-term loans with higher interest rates. And the second point is that the defense expenditure has been high due to the aggravated war situation in the northeast. As the bar chart above shows, the three different ways the government has been financing its budget deficit. The first means is domestic and non-bank and privatization proceeds. In the first 3 years, 2004, 2005 and 2006, it has been comparatively high. And the domestic bank borrowings have fluctuated during the several years given, and it has reached the highest level in 2008. The foreign loans and grants have been also fluctuating, and it records the lowest rate in 2008. Up to the year 2008, Sri Lankan government didn't require the assistance of IMF because Sri Lankan economy has been experiencing an economic growth of 8.3% in 2005, 7.2% in 2005, and also 5.2% economic growth in 2008. And also the inflation, which was very high, over 20%, started to decline. And also it recorded lower unemployment rates, which was 5.2%. However, after the financial crisis hit the global market, in the fourth quarter of 2008, the trend reversed, and large sums of investment in treasury bills and treasury bonds started to withdraw. This led the country to seek IMF assistance. Now Nadika will be talking about how the IMF loan affects Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Thank you, Himashi. I will be speaking about the objectives and conditions of the IMF loan. Objectives. The key objectives of the IMF loan are previously received position, strengthening fiscal position, strengthening the domestic financial system. The amount received, $2.6 billion, is 400% of the country's quota. An initial disbursement of $322.1 billion is made upon approval, followed by 7 additional disbursements in an equivalent amount. The interest rate on this loan is currently less than 1.5% per year, that is 1% fixed rate and 0.3% per annum. The program will be subject to quarterly reviews to ensure the program remains on track. Now the conditions involved are as follows: reducing budget deficit, cutting subsidies, reducing losses at the CPC and CEP to a break-even point by 2011. Thank you.
Thank you, Nandita. Now I would like to focus upon the advantages and disadvantages of the IMF loan. Among the advantages are reduction of budget deficit. The loan is essential to reduce the budget deficit, which is a root cause of inflation and consequently the need to devalue the currency to maintain export competitiveness. At the moment, Sri Lanka is facing a rising situation of resettling IDPs. And this loan can help and can be used for rebuilding the country. It can also help the country to stabilize the BOP. Overall, the stabilization of economy can be gained through the IMF loan. Among the disadvantages, mismanagement of the loan can put the country into a greater debt. The lack of willpower of the politicians and other government personnel have demonstrated in the past, and cutting subsidies may have implications on the general public. In conclusion, I would like to state the fact that after considering the economic and financial condition that the country was in, the IMF loan facility is the best option. It provides the best opportunity to stabilize the economy and put in place policy measures that are in the long interest of the country, provided the management of the loan. Thank you.